Story 1. My husband has been living a double life with my sister. My husband of 8 years had been cheating on me with my own sister for a whopping 6 years. It's hard to put into words just how betrayed and shocked I felt. Around 3 years ago, I got a gut feeling that he was cheating, but I had no idea it was with my sister. I even started the divorce process, but he somehow convinced me to call it off. We have 2 kids, and he knew how to use that to his advantage. Just recently, I discovered that he'd been financially supporting my sister, who had been pulling away from me for the past 3 years. Turns out they have a 1-year-old son together, a painful reminder of their affair. He bought her a house just 2 miles away from mine, making it impossible to ignore. What stings even more is that my mother is all in on their relationship. The woman who raised both of us is now firmly on their side as if our sisterly bond means nothing. It's like a betrayal within a betrayal. So here I am, torn between hating my husband for his infidelity, my sister for betraying me, and my own mother for supporting their messed up relationship. It's a real-life drama that I never thought I'd find myself in. Story 2. I regret beating up the man my wife cheated on me with. I found out my wife had been cheating on me 2 years ago. A mutual friend pointed out some suspicious behavior and suggested I confront her. I came home unexpectedly early by design and caught them in our bed. While he dressed and tried to leave, she broke down and started trying to explain herself. At the time, I was so angry that all I wanted was to hurt something. I've never considered myself the type of man to hit a woman, so I followed the guy out and beat him before he could get into his car. I left him there, bleeding and hurt, and stayed with my brother for a while. Over time, I came to realize that there were a lot of problems with our marriage. I wasn't supporting her the way I should have been, and she had been distant from me. The cheating wasn't just another problem, it was a symptom of all the problems we already had with communication, expressing affection, and initiating connection. We weren't putting any work into our relationship, and we were falling out of love. She cheated, and I ignored it and her. We went to counseling together and started putting in real effort to tackle our problems and build our relationship. It's been just over 2 years of hard work, but now we're better than we've ever been. Recently, my wife told me that she truly appreciated how calm and self-aware I was when I caught her cheating, and that just removing myself from the situation had been more maturity and grace than she deserved at the time. At once, I realized she didn't know what I had done to that man, and was reminded of my regret. I had felt bad about it before, but I justified it because they had hurt me first, and I was just staking a claim or whatever on my woman. Now, that isn't doing it for me anymore. I feel regret for the physical harm I caused this man I didn't know. This man who in my mind was just a symptom of and a wake-up call to the problems with my marriage. I feel like a violent, cruel man for hurting him as badly as I did. And I feel like a liar for letting my wife believe I had the maturity and grace to leave when really I had the opposite. Story 3. I slept with my best friend's dad when I had just turned 17. This all started after my 17th birthday. It was mid-December and I was spending the night at my best friend's house when the guy they first was seeing at the time wanted to hook up. I told him I could sneak out later when my friend went to sleep and he was chill with it. My best friend's dad, who I will call B, was okay with me sneaking out so long as I added him on Snap, just in case I needed him. So I gave B my Snap. After that night, he started talking to me and we texted back and forth for a few weeks. Our conversations ranged from him talking about his wife cheating on him and what love means to him, to me talking about how I'm attracted to his daughter and what love means to me. Yes, I'm attracted to my best friend. Anywho, it escalated from there. I was not in the right mindset when all this was happening. I had just gotten out of the mental hospital, and I suffer from borderline personality disorder, which means I'm very emotionally unstable and get attached very easily at the first sign of attraction towards me. He basically groomed me. He said he wanted to marry me and have kids with me. He said that I could move in with him when I turned 18, which wasn't for another year. This went on for months. I slept with him in his and his wife's bed. I slept with him in a hotel room, and I slept with him in an automatic car wash. I regret everything, and I'm guilty that my best friend doesn't know. I broke things off when I realized that he had known me since I was 12, and I thought that he was creepy after that realization. I'm glad to get this off my chest. Even if the people that need to know don't know, at least it's not weighing on me as much. I also want to state that B knew I had feelings for his daughter, and tried to get me to take pictures of her boobs and send them to him purely because he had a boob fetish and she has huge boobs. Story 4. My brother keeps stealing my lingerie, and I don't know what to do. Some context. I, 18 years old, have two younger brothers, Jake, 15 years old, and Henry, 7 years old, both fake names for simplicity. My mum is in Berlin right now on a trip, so I am babysitting the two for this week. It pretty much started this morning during the morning routine. I wake up at 5:30, have my breakfast and such, and then I wake the boys up at 6 so they can have their breakfast before they go to school, and before I head off to college myself. However, this morning was different. I went into Jake's room to find my lacy bra right next to his bed. Shocked, I obviously confronted him, saying, "Why the hell is my bra in your room?" To which he meekly replied, "Oh, it was put in my washing." I know for a fact that it hadn't just been put in his washing, as 1, I do the washing, and 2, I did not put this item in the wash as it's somewhat fragile. After he left for school, I did some more investigating, finding several pairs of my bras, underwear, and even some socks. I have no idea what to do. I messaged my mum to ask what the hell this was about and to tell him off, but all she had to say was along the lines of boys will be boys and how he's at that age, if you get what I mean, and if I had a problem with it, I should just buy him a dirty magazine. What? I told her several times to consider how I feel in this scenario, that my younger brother is stealing my lingerie and such to do who knows what to it. She basically stuck up for him entirely and even blamed me for it, and I don't think I can convince her otherwise. Story 5. My husband got a husband stitch behind my back, and a year later I can't get over it. For those of you who don't know, a husband stitch is an extra stitch done on the vagina after birth to make it tighter for the husband. I, 25F, gave birth a year ago, and my husband, who was a surgeon at the hospital I delivered, was asked by his colleague, the OBGYN, if he wanted an extra stitch. My husband said yes, because he thought it would make sex better for the both of us. I didn't notice as I was out of it, but I was in a lot of pain afterward. Since it was my first kid, I was not sure if it was normal or not. I kept asking the nurses, who told me it might be because of the husband stitch. I asked her what that was, and she explained to me. I thought at first the doctor had just done it, and I wanted to report him, but then my husband said he had agreed to it. I felt violated. This wasn't the first time a man violated my body. I was a molestation victim as a child, but this was the first time it was someone I loved. When I told him this, my husband was extremely angry. He said he did it for both of us, and he didn't think it was such a big deal, that he didn't know it would cause issues. I pointed out he was a neurosurgeon, and he said he wasn't an OBGYN. The fight got ugly. I screamed at him to get out, and in the end, I had to be sedated. I had the same reaction every time he tried to see me. So for the whole time I was at the hospital, I didn't see him. Now my son has turned a year old, and things between us are non-existent. I only talk to him about our son. We sleep in different rooms, and I don't let him so much as kiss me. He is extremely remorseful, especially as he saw how much it affected my recovery. He genuinely thought it was okay, as the college presented it as, it will make the sex better. But why would a tighter vagina feel better for women? That only feels good for men. He has asked for couples therapy, which I have refused. I have taken up freelancing, so I am making some of my own money. My husband thinks I am doing that because I plan to leave him, as I was initially dependent on him. He's partially right. I don't see myself getting over this. I am NSC with my family, and I live in his country. I have no friends but his friends, no family but his. Everyone is on me to make things right. They say he was wrong, but I can't hold one mistake over his head. My current country isn't exactly known for women's rights. Femicide is more common here than you might think. I am also on a spouse visa. I can't leave him until my son is at least old enough to remember me. Because if I leave, there is a 90% chance I will lose custody. Story 6. He asked me for a divorce after I found him on Grindr. My husband of 2 years asked for a divorce last night, which took me by complete surprise, even though I found him on Grindr messaging a bunch of men. In our first conversation, I told him I'd even be his beard because he's my best friend. He told me, if my dick's not getting sucked by you, it's getting sucked somewhere else. I left for my hometown to take a break. That's when he asked me for divorce, stating it was because I didn't make enough, that I couldn't be trusted, that I was the reason he was on Grindr in the first place. He doesn't even want to try to work on our marriage. I don't know my rights when it comes to a divorce. He threatened to get mean. He's been the breadwinner for the majority of our relationship and has always held that over my head. We just bought our first house. We have 2 dogs together. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and consider liking the video. Write in the comments below your thoughts about these stories.